Welcome back, everybody, to Aeromotive. Today we have an interesting topic. These are no-nos. All of us have a bad day, and I'll be the first to raise my hand. I know I do. I just don't have the patience sometimes to work an electrical problem. I run out. I might have some other human factors that are coming into play. I mean, maybe I had a bad day at home. Maybe there's a little bit of road rage going on. Not too sure, but we want to address these anyway because it's good to bring these things to light. Right? Let's all just admit that we make mistakes. So let's get into it. In this particular one, there are way too many splices in this particular wire lead. If they had purchased a wire lead from us, they could have at least eliminated 2 of them. And also, there's corrosion starting to occur, which means they didn't use a weatherproofing splice. So quite a bit going on there. We are going to zoom in to some of these images because they will get tiny as I go on. Here's another one that's kind of interesting. First thing to note is that the terminal was over crimped. They broke the insulation on it, and the brush end is extending too far, which will open it up to corrosion. In this case, they stripped the insulation too far back, so again, open it up to corrosion. But the most obvious one is the splice. In this case, the splice was a nut and a bolt. So I give them at least a 9 on creativity, but we don't want to see this continue, right? We want to do a nice type of repair where we're weatherproofing everything and crimping it real tight. In this particular example, they twisted the wires together. There's no mechanical features to it at all, not even a little glob of solder. I mean, that would have helped, but a weatherproofing splice would have been the answer in this particular situation. Also, way too close to this termination point. One of the other things that we have to consider, soldering. And when we solder a joint, there's a standard for it. This did not quite meet the standard. This is just a glob of solder. It doesn't take much to secure 2 wires together. So the correct amount of heat, along with the correct type of tip, and of course the solder and flux you're using helps give you a good transitional piece, and again, secures it very tight. On this one, in this one, we're going to zoom in really tight because this was kind of interesting. There's a few things going on here. One, weatherproofing seal, or the seal, was put on wrong. In addition, it should have been secured to the terminal, but instead, they secured the insulation. But if we look really close, the conductor separated from the wire itself. So it's not even getting any type of electrical flow here. There will be 0 continuity. So this one is very interesting to take a look at. In this particular example, the distance between splices is a bit much. In this case here, look at, here's your termination point to terminal. Again, look at what's exposed here, all the copper that's going to corrode. And we have a splice here. Again, we're changing wire colors, which isn't bad, but nonetheless, also change wire gauge. It went bigger, which is better, but again, things to consider as you're going through repairing a wire circuit. But the one that I think I'd like to save for last is the pancake. This is a battery terminal. Looks like they didn't have the tool to properly swage the terminal end onto the battery cable, so they probably hammered it because it looks like there's peen marks in it where they were hammering it flat to make this terminal secure. In addition, they probably could have used a little bit of solder. That might have helped, and there's absolutely no weatherproofing here at all. So I just want to bring those to attention. Let's all admit we have a bad day, but we can clear things up if we just take the time, study the problem. And again, let's keep it simple. Thank you for tuning in, and have a safe day.